How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another one bar build in Gedonia. Today we're going to be using the Crusher armor set, so let's dive in and have a look at the armor. This armor really reminds me of like the classic World of Warcraft, very inspired by, I think it was tier 5, could have been tier 4, the warrior set. But yeah, that just really just takes me back to them days, so kudos for Oleg choosing this armor. Alright, now let's have a look at the item set. So for the Crusher set with 2 items, Whirlwind gives you invincibility for 3 seconds, and with all 5 pieces of armor, War Scream replenishes stamina for 10 seconds. And some of the stats for the Crusher set include physical damage absorption, critical strike chance, knock resistance, bit of a health boost, bit of a stamina boost, a hefty melee damage boost, bit of magical resistance, and a crit damage multiplier. And for the accessories, I did choose the Cloak of Shadows. It's one of the best melee cloaks in the game, or you should put poisons on your weapons anyway. Critical strike chance, health, the 250% melee damage, and the 40 plus the critical damage multiplier. It's just a no-brainer. And the accessories I use for this build are the smashing set. When you have 2 items of the smashing set, melee attacks have a chance to have a devastating knockdown power. And with all 4 of the accessories, melee attacks have a chance to spawn a wave of power that knocks enemies in front of the player down, boasting a massive increase to health and stamina, and also a lot more melee damage with this set too. Now let's have a look at the weapon. The living weapon that we've chosen for this build is the Spirit of the Blizzard. Each strike has a chance to apply buff of the Blizzard, which increases melee and elemental damage. After getting 25 stacks, creates a blizzard that damages enemies and slows them down, and applies a shield on the player that absorbs and heals them, also reflecting melee damage back. 2-handed mace, so its knock power is crushing. That's why we want all of the knock power we can, so we can knock enemies down and keep them down. With 120 damage, pretty slow, and also has 160 damage to elemental magic, plus 2 knockdown power itself, and also has 60 stamina. Alright, now let's get into the skills. With the skills, I'm going to go left to right, top to bottom, and we'll start at ferocity like always. Right, so we want level 2 powerful strike. This will give you 312% damage hit and knocks all enemies around. So this will just keep enemies down on the ground. Very powerful strike indeed. Next up we have War Scream. As you may remember, War Scream, whenever we use it, will give us 150% damage increase for 10 seconds because we've got level 2, and it will also regenerate our stamina because of our armor. Next up we have Whirlwind Strike. We have this because it's a really good AoE attack, plus we have invincibility frames for 3 seconds when we use Whirlwind Strike. Right, next up we have Rage, which of course boosts our melee damage by 1% each hit, because 2-handed weapons give 2 stacks instead of 1. We've got our Angry Strike. So with 2-handed maces, we'll do a shockwave that stuns enemies for 10 seconds and restore 33% health. And also Mastery Skill, so we'll get 2% each strike that we do instead of just 1. Then we have our Critical Strike level 2, which gives us 5% more crit. Our Melee Damage level 5, which increases our melee damage by 70%. And also 2-handed weapons level 2, which increases our damage done by 30% and our attack speed by 20, and also our crit chance by 4. Moving on to combat mastery, we have our level 2 enchant weapon. We'll get our desired element on ourselves, and then we can enchant our weapon with it. Level 2 will just give us a cleave attack that we can do that scales with melee and magic damage bonuses. So next up we have a bit of a curveball here. It's throw weapon level 3. So this will be like our pull ability instead of charge, just to mix it up a little bit. So this will drag the enemy towards you. So drag target is slowed down for 5 seconds. Next up we have level 4 Rend. It will give us a 20% chance to cause bleeding to an enemy that will deal 20% of our damage each 2 seconds for 10 seconds. Very good to have for a passive damage over time. Next we have Piercing Strikes level 2. So this will have a 33% chance to activate a debuff on an enemy, and it will increase the received damage done to them by 1% each stack. And level 2 just applies the trauma effect as well, which reduces movement and attack speed by 20% for 15 seconds. And then moving on, we have Fencing level 4, which just gives us the combo and also armor piercing with 100% chance with our final attack in the combo. Next up, we have Blood Magic. So we got Blood Magic level 2, which drains 5% of our health. So it's just 5% just gone, but it'll regenerate pretty quick. Applies Blood Element to us, and that will increase the chance of bloody attacks by 5%. And it'll also create some healing enchants with our enchant weapon. So we'll get a lot of healing with this build. Next up, we have Bloody Spikes. This will drain 20% of our health, but it will grow spikes on our back, and it'll damage all the enemies nearby for 10 seconds. But if we use it again, it creates a powerful wave that'll shoot out and damage all enemies in front of us. Very good one to have when you're surrounded. You can just pop that and it's like thorns. Next up, we have Bloody Attacks level 3. This is our passive healing. 10% chance to restore 8% health. We got Hunger for Blood, which increases the movement speed and attack speed by 5% for every enemy that's near us. And also Blood Frenzy increases chance of bloody attacks triggering by 20%. Next, in defenses, we picked up Survivability level 2, so 60 health for us. The movability, our knock resistance by 3, and also Mastery Skill Defense Master, which gives us another 30% more health. Then in Banditry, of all things, we got that to level 15 because it gives us 1% chance of evading damage with each point. So that's 15 points right there. And also Glancing Blows. So we've got level 2 of that. So what Glancing Blows does, passive, every damage we receive, we have a 10% chance for the damage to be decreased. If our health is lower, the damage is decreased more. Every point of agility increases a chance by 10%. And also here, Glancing Blows will never kill us. So this is just like a damage reduction. In Speech, we just got 4 into that just for the stamina boost, and we also got Pressure just to decrease the damage that enemies do to us. And in Talents, we've put 5 points in a health bonus, which gives us 500 health. 5 points in a melee, gives us 250%. Defense bonus, 5 points in, get our armor and magic resist increased by 5%. And also speed bonus, which increases our attack speed by 15% and also our movement speed by 1.25. So now with the combat. Of course, we want to put our Blood Element on and also enchant our weapon. And just wait until we can put Blood Element on again. Alright, now we are ready. What we can do is we can pull a guy over using chain, put on our War Scream, cock our Bloody Spikes, and use our Whirlwind. You can see they're all getting knocked out and it's really taking the damage in. You're a bit of a base tank with this. You'll be doing a ton of damage, and also with the weapon it'll help you survive a lot more as well. You won't really be dodging too much just because this is just very resistant. You're not doing that much damage, but the survivability is just up there. So you'll be stunning a lot of the enemies. And you can see our health has hardly even gone down. So it might take a bit longer to take down enemies. Like they still do a lot of damage here, but You can even swap your own weapon for charge if you really want. I just thought I might as well mix it up a little bit. You don't even really need... There you go. Don't even really need any dodge abilities or anything. You can just sort of just run in and go to town. Get in there, get bloody spikes up. Every time you're near an enemy, it does damage. So, yeah, it's pretty much run in, use your war scream, proc your bloody attacks. If there's more than 2 enemies, just use whirlwind. If there's only just one, just powerful strike will do. Very strong. With all poisons and your bleeds, they should fall pretty quickly. Alright, so as you can see, this is a unit of a build. The survivability that you can have, not doing too much damage, which is a bit of a downside, but you don't really have to think with this build. This is pretty much just go in, attack, put all your dots on the enemies as you can, so all your poisons and bleeds and that. Just try and hit as many enemies as you can. You can knock them off edges as well. This is mostly just big CC, just crowd control situation where you can stun and knock down all of your enemies, keep them at bay, have a shield on, and just do your damage without thinking too much. That's going to do it for me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I had fun playing it, and I'm so happy of how it turned out. But let me know what you guys think. As I said, that'll do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. All right, guys, take care.